Here's what's unusual about the heroine of Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. This witchy anime protagonist is different from your typical lead adventure fantasy character. By Caitlin Craig. October 18th, 2022, 5:30 in the morning. Warning, the following article contains spoilers for Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. Many adventure fantasy anime revolve around the story of a heroic character with superb natural talent who selflessly saves others, often with no expectation of a reward or even thanks for their pains. Popular protagonists such as My Hero Academia's Izuku Midoriya or the Avatar series Aang and Korra easily fit into this mold, being willing to risk their lives and well-being for anyone needed at any time. While various stories in the adventure fantasy genre center this type of character, this isn't the case for the witchy heroine of Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. Whether the problem she encounters during her travels is a monster that requires slaying or a curse that needs breaking, Wandering Witch Elaina often fails to meet the classic expectations for a typical adventure fantasy protagonist. Based on the main character from Jugi Shiraishi's light novel series, Elaina has many likable qualities. However, she isn't the sort of heroine no one expects to see at the forefront of this type of story. Ultimately possessing many appealing qualities, the Wandering Witch still falls surprisingly short of the stereotype of the adventuring, supernaturally gifted hero in a very important way, which sets her apart from most of the competition. How is the heroine from Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina, different than expected? Wandering Witch Elaina in Episode 1 of Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. In the first episode of Wandering Witch, we meet a bright, cheerful, and imaginative young girl named Elaina, an apologetic bookworm who loves to read adventure stories alongside her mother. Inspired by the exciting places and events in the books she has read, this ashen-haired girl soon decides that her destiny is to travel. When her mother reveals that she must become a witch to do so, it is only then that her mind turns towards magic. The beginning episode shows our heroine to be intelligent, diligent, and determined in reaching her dream. She quickly reveals herself to be a child prodigy, becoming an apprentice at age 14 and a mage at 18. At a very young age, she realizes these achievements. Her relentless ambition to pursue her travel goal drives her to perfect her magic skills, and she's even willing to put herself through grueling effort and summer to get there. It is this very strength that is her greatness, as according to her magic teacher, Fran. Before she sets off on her journey, Elena's mother and teacher dish out some very important advice. Counsel that set the stage for the behavior of the remaining Wandering Witch's 12-episode run. Fran encourages her pupil to erect boundaries around herself, telling her that she's willing to do too much, that it's hard to say no when she reaches her limit, and that she shouldn't be afraid to protect herself. Along the same vein, the Wandering Witch's mother makes her promises always run at the first sign of danger, avoid considering herself more special than others, and make sure she returns some to her adventures. In this way, the two people Elaina trusts well shaped her conscious attitude throughout her journey. Wandering Witch Elaina, episodes 2 through 12, Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. Throughout the remaining episodes, our witchy protagonist almost never fails to basically heed mother and teacher's advice. While generally being kind, pleasant, and helpful, the Wandering Witch is also pragmatic to a fault, consistently placing her own survival and comfort at the forefront of the area encounter. After all, she sets off on her journey to see the world and write about it, not to change or save it. As a result, she hardly ever compromises her safety over any purpose. She only generally gets involved in intense or dangerous situations to pay off a debt, to earn something of value, to satiate a personal grudge, to satisfy her own curiosity, or to save her own skin. In fact, the only times Elaina does anything out of altruism is when the deed seems to come at little cost to herself, or when she experiences an intense connection to someone special. Indeed, there are a few examples of times where she provides or attempts to provide meaningful help involving a personal risk. In episode 2, our protagonist spends time helping struggling novice witch and potential help enter a silent practice for a magical apprentice exam. She clearly experiences a near-instant bond with the cockle-haired girl, who she reflects in her journal. It reminds her of her past self, the self that worked so hard to earn her mage badge. As the host of the incident on seeing it, Sai gives Wandering Witch a generous discount, but it's not a fair requested, meaning that she was willing to help her anyways. Also, when Sai reappears later on in the series, the Wandering Witch displays an unusual willingness to take risks for her friend's sake, opting to destroy King's magical sword, while the other girl takes on the guards, a much less dangerous endeavor. Another instance is in which Elaina takes a considerable risk for someone else's during her stay at Rose's castle. She initially refuses to help her fellow witch and host fight rampaging the monster Davalier. Elaina readily admits to not being altruistic and only offering to help strategize, only going as far as to dig the monster's top ditch and offering to cut Rose's turn. She ultimately changes her mind. Coming out of hiding to see how the fight is going, she comes back prepared to offer help, although she hopes she doesn't have to. At one point, when she shoots fire outside on her, she rushes for her impulse, aid the broom princess. However, the one which still punches after the monster's death, leaving the broken woman who saw in madness. Still, on another occasion upon which our titular witch takes a risk to help try someone is during which such a paid back to the in the series. She agrees to help Lavender witch Estelle go back in time by 10 years and utilize her magic power to save her childhood friend. Forming the arrangement in exchange for considerable money as well as out for a desire to see the past, Elaina puts her life in danger to try to stop a bat-check event for hopefully. She is crushed and traumatized when she proves unable to stop it, even leaving the money Estelle offered her behind, showing that there's a side of her that does truly care about others. There are times when the Wandering Witch spirit puts altruism on the back burner, offering only limited help or none at all when the wish was needed. For example, in an early episode of Wandering Witch, Dash and Hair Witch really agrees to carry Maiden's broken flowers to the next town. She discovers that the colorful plants are poisoned on magic users, calling the venture to the enchanted field and losing mind confidence with adventure the poison blossoms. Instead of immediately rushing back to save the girls she met, Elaine waits until the next day to return. Upon meeting the girl's half-mad brother and signing on her now plant-ready corpse, the witch always decides to help him. They explicitly wasting the son of the same fate, flying out to the next station while the rest of the townsfolk watch for Judge and Doom. Then again, within the same episode, where Heroine comes across a girl in the home she's welcome to, she helps in the soul spell and asks the country to do anything that's truly meaningful. For a moment, with her wand held at the ready, she seems to consider doing something for the girl's despicable master, but she ultimately fixes the dishes she was angry at the save broke. She departs not long after, seeking to justify her act of action by citing a fictional story with the moral that performing selfless deeds can cause more harm than good, a trifling excuse for an action in this case. At moments like these, it's difficult to root for Elaina. In the end, she's not a fighter. Instead, she's an adventurer, an emotionally repressed, overly cautious nerd who likes to hang out at pastry shops, read books and newspapers, write in a journal, study new cultures, and go sightseeing. She's neither a hero nor a villain, neither a Harry Potter nor a Voldemort. She's a voluntary bystander and tourist, an ordinary witch and traveler, and a writer who prefers to scribble down notes rather than command the action.